99% of Christians are ignoring every single rule inside the Bible.
Whoa, hang on here. So in this video, we are going to respond to Andrew Tate and some of his comments about Islam and Christianity and how should people respond to criticism and what culture looks like and whether we should allow certain things or not.
What's your thought on Islam and everything? Because I know in the Quran and stuff, like you could have up to 4 wives and stuff. So I've seen you talk about it a little bit, but I would like to know, like,
I think it's the last religion on the planet.
You think it's the right religion?
I think it's the last religion. So if it's the last true religion on the planet, then it has to be the correct one.
I think it's the last religion on the planet, like valid religion. I don't understand what he really means here by it's the last religion on the planet. Clearly, there's a lot of other religions on the planet. And I don't know how he's looking at truth here. Okay? And he says if it's the last one, it has to be true. It has to be the right one. I have a very difficulty following the logic here. You know, usually people go, something is first, therefore it's true. But he's saying since this is the last one, it has to be true. This is really a meaningless statement here. It's not the last one, number one, because there's plenty of other religions out there. And then you can't judge the truth of a thing based on whether it's last or first. That is not a good standard to use. But let's see what he means.
I don't think
How is it the last one?
It's the last religion because no other religion has boundaries which they enforce. If you will tolerate everything, then you stand for nothing. If your book says X, but you refuse to say the book says this, I'm sticking to what the book says. Doesn't matter what the subject is, right? I don't want to get us banned. I think everyone can work it out. If you're a Christian, 99% of Christians are ignoring every single rule inside the Bible.
Whoa, hang on here, man. Hang on. I agree with him. If you say your book says something and it's properly understood as to what it is, you go through the proper hermeneutics and understandings, stick to it. Say what your book says. No problem, Andrew. I agree with you. Thumbs up, dude. Really good stuff. But then you can't go and make up some random statistic. 99% of Christians don't do what the book says. According to what? You can't just say things like it is the case because you've met 100 Christians and 99% of them were lousy. Maybe all the people you're around are fake and they claim to be Christians and they're not real Christians. But you can't say 99% of Christians don't really practice what the book says. That, I would say, is just factually false. Do you realize the amount of Christians that are in China who do what the book says and are dying over their belief in what the book says? You can speak very confidently about something and just be ridiculously wrong about it. And here's an example of that. Moving on.
Christians interpret the Bible, you're saying? Like they pick and choose what they want to stick with,
they'll try and say, I interpret it differently. I believe in God, but I don't believe in that part. That's not what the book says. It doesn't say ignore half of me. It says follow me. Only Muslims follow their book.
Okay. Every single form of communication requires interpretation. Every form of communication requires interpretation. The words I'm speaking to you is being interpreted by you. If you speak English, you know words and meanings and context. This is a reaction video. Now you know the context. When Mr. Tate is saying, people say, well, I believe in God, but I don't think that's what it says. Well, that's because people are doing hermeneutics. If they think by doing the study of hermeneutics, by studying the text and thinking the interpretation should be different, that's it. And he goes, oh, only Muslims do what the book says. That's not true. There's disagreements in Islam. You have Sunnis and Shiites. You have people that are at each other's throats in Islam, have been for centuries, disagreeing on interpretation. So it is not the case that Muslims just do what the book says and Christians don't do what the book says. And I'm just going to say it because I'm Andrew Tate and I can say stuff like that. You're wrong.
True, no, true.
So they're the last religion.
No, not true. No.
If Christians come along and say, I'm a Christian, give a you ignore the Bible.
So this guy tries to, I think, get back at him and say, no, there's Muslims who disagree and ignore the text as well. Like, why are you just saying Christians ignore the text when you're not talking about it? And that's just the case, by the way. There's people who claim to be Christians who don't care about the Bible. They're not real Christians. It doesn't matter what they say. And there's Muslims who say they're Muslims and don't do what the Quran says. They're not real Muslims. Why can't you just say that and be intellectually honest?
Don't follow the Quran too, though?
I'm sure there's a lot of Muslims who don't completely follow the Quran. But I'm saying that if you were to go out there and try and find Muslims who live true to the Quran completely, you can find them.
Yeah.
You ain't going to find
I think you can find Christians.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Muslim religion.
Okay, So this is so easy to defeat. He's saying when you go out there to find a Christian who lives according to what the Bible teaches, you won't find any. Do you know why this is easy to defeat? Because all you would need to do is find one. I can just find one person who actually does what the Bible says according to its proper understanding and interpretation. And Mr. Tate here has been shown to be wrong. I would respect you so much more if you just properly explain things rather than just making these ridiculous claims. You won't find any real Christian.
Dude, you're not going to find a Muslim, like,
that's right.
Like a woman that's a Muslim that's a
Bro, you put me in any fucking church. Give me the hottest church.
There's
girl.
Muslim slaves there.
There's
I'm
gotta
sure
be.
there are, but I'm saying the point he's making is you can find a bunch of women who adhere to Islam who are still virgin to the age of 25 waiting for an arranged marriage.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You will not find that under Christianity.
100%.
How do you know this? I mean, how do you know you're not going to find women who are Christians, who are virgins, waiting to get married? I know a ton of them.
Even the Pope is up here talking about, and I want to make this very, very clear. I'm not anti anything. I'm not homophobic. I don't give a. I'm talking about what the book says. If the book says man and women lay together, and then the Pope is going to stand up now and say that you can be a gay preacher, the book doesn't mean anything now. So the whole
No, it's not that the book doesn't mean anything. It's that the Pope is wrong. If the Pope said that, it has the book is static. The book says what the book says. Anybody who disagrees with the book is wrong. It's that simple. Anybody who comes and gives you an opinion that goes against what the Bible says is wrong or has a wrong interpretation. It's not that the book is powerless. It's that the people are wrong.
If you're tolerant of everything, you stand for nothing. The problem is with religion is that naturally.
Look, I agree with that. If you're tolerant of everything, you stand for nothing. If by tolerance you mean accepting everything. Now, I have a different definition of tolerance. But if by tolerance you mean you just accept everything, then that's true. You don't stand for anything. You've given that up. But that's you. That's your society. That's not Christianity. That's not the Bible. That's not God.
Needs to be intolerant. For a religion to be a religion which is respected, it needs to be intolerant of certain things.
Yeah, but-
You can't say we're a religion which tolerates everything. Now you have no belief system. So Christianity's evolved into nothing. Islam hasn't. This is the point I'm making. The point.
But you know, by the way, when you search this video up, you see a lot of Muslims that are like, yeah, Andrew Tate for Islam and stuff like that. I'm like, good for you, bro. Like his opinions are just wrong, more wrong, kind of okay-ish. Wrong. Christianity's evolved into nothing. Meaningless statement. What do you mean by that? But Islam has evolved into this. No, it hasn't.
Making is if you're going to throw your own rules away, you can't stand up and say this is a religion, these are our doctrines, but we tolerate everything and we don't punish anyone for anything and none of it really matters.
That's not true. Christians stand for certain things. It's just that Christianity, it's not socio-political. Islam is a socio-political system. The religion is politics and laws in its politics. That's why you have Sharia law. That's why you have Muslim nations in a different sense than you would have a Christian nation.
Biggest hoe in the world's a Christian. Porn stars are Christians. Gives a shit. It
They're
doesn't
not.
mean anything. It's different with Islam. With Islam, you can't get away with it. Even if you're saying that there's some Islam, etc., fine, that's cool.
Muhammad had multiple wives. Maybe Tate likes that and he enjoys that kind of stuff. But there's a big difference. Because Christianity teaches monogamy, made for one man, one woman in marriage. Islam doesn't. It's a violation of that. If they are going against their book, then they're not really those people.